Always remember to double check email addresses. I was printing my SAT admission ticket when I realized I didn't have ink, so I decided to send it to my best friend to print for me. His email is full name ending in 97 at yahoo.com. Being the brainiac I am now, I sent it to his full name at yahoo.com, excluding the very, very important 97. 10 minutes later, I have a strange man in my email asking if I sent it as a mistake. Considering it had my full name, birthday, address, a picture of me, and the location and time I would be taking my SAT, it was definitely a huge mistake. After I realized it wasn't my friend messing with me, he had already given me his phone number and called me pretty. I apologized for the mistake and replied, "No problem at all. You have really pretty eyes. Can I send you a picture of me? You seem like a nice girl." At this point, I was scared shitless that this man was pursuing me while having all my information. I didn't reply for a while and then received, "If you don't want to chat, that's totally okay. I just think it might be fun getting to know you. Maybe this is destiny, lol. If not, no worries. And don't worry about sending me your information. I'll delete it. Hope you're having a great night. Don't stress about the test." If this had been someone I knew, and was not clearly a grown man trying to chat up a 16-year-old, this would have been a sweet message. I apologized again for the inconvenience and told him he seemed nice, but too old for me. His final message was my favorite. He said, "If you change your mind, feel free to text," and include a picture of himself. That I saw. Moral of the story, print your own shit, or at least double check where you're sending your information to. Online stalker. This story spans from when I was 18 years old and has only just ended now, and I'm 29 years old. I met John when I was about 18 on a forum. You know, when you're younger and you spend all your time on the internet. We all used to chat in a group on the chat box on the website. I live in England and he lives in America. He was pretty normal to begin with, of course, sharing pictures and each of us talking about our day-to-day life. Anyways, we got older, as you do, and we all went about our lives and lost touch, except him. About 3 years after I had last spoken to everyone, I got a message on my Facebook from a name I didn't recognize. I read along something the lines of, "If you don't contact me immediately, I will be forced to take matters into my own hands." At this point, I was freaked out and messaged back asking who this person was. He replied that it was John, who I used to speak with, and he had to speak to me urgently. I messaged back like, "Oh hey, hi, what's up?" He then informed me that the government were trying to hack his computer, and he thought it was because of me. At first, I thought he was just messing around, but the more he sent the messages, the more weirded out I got. He now ran his own forum website. After a few months, I got the hump with him babbling on about stuff, so said I was very busy with life now, and I didn't really have any time to chat. 2 years pass. He messages me again from a different Facebook account, saying that I should go check out his website. I do so. He has stolen my profile pictures from Facebook and is releasing them in a block-by-block sort of way, along with posts about "this is the girl who is getting my computer hacked," etc., so I am forced to out her on here. Obviously, I am freaked the hell out, so message him back asking what the hell is going on and what is his problem. He replies with a load of babble about how I'm causing computer hackers to ruin his life on his computer because I refuse to send him photos of myself now or give him my phone number. After a few months of arguing with him about being crazy, I freaking block him. Another 3 years go by. I'm now 26 years old and receive another message. This time he is sending me memes in the context of why did it have to end like this? Why do people pretend they don't have feelings for each other? Now I have the lump. I ignore him. He then adds me on Gmail. Then the emails start about how beautiful I am and how I can't leave him hanging another year. Why can't he have my phone number, etc. I get really angry with him and ask him to leave me alone. I go back onto his website and there he is again. He is talking about me and how I am the worst person he has ever met. He has never even met me. Someone else has commented saying, "I really think you need to leave this girl alone," etc., etc. I stop replying. I then get another email telling me how much of a bitch I am coming on his website and leaving comments to make him look bad in front of his friends, and he knows it's me posting saying to leave me alone. It wasn't me! Then we come to this year. A few weeks ago, I got another message on Facebook from a new account. He is saying he is worried about me being raped, as I am pretty, and that he can save me from it if I give him my number. I know it's him, so I tell him he needs to go away or I'll call the police. I get a message back saying I have to stop playing games with him. I need to block him if I want him to go away. I have blocked him 3 times already. I tell him if he messages me again, I will call the police that day. He finally leaves me alone. I go back on his website today and he has closed it, with a massive long note about how I am the sole reason he has closed his site, and he does not want to deal with people anymore because of me, that I am a nasty piece of work, and I have ruined his faith in people, along with a video about why men don't like women anymore. So yeah, creepy online stalker. Let's not meet. Email awkwardness. Hi guys. Sorry if I messed this up. This is my first time on Reddit. Anyways, this happened to me about 2 years ago, and I feel really bad about it. I made an account on this pen pal site where you look at a profile and send emails to them. A few days later, I got a message from a girl named Izzy. This was our conversation. Hello, my name is Izzy, and I'm looking for people to write with because I just moved back to Ireland after living abroad for a few years. So please write back if you'd like to talk with an English speaker from Ireland. Hi, this is Mooney. I think it would be great if we could write or email. What's your favorite kind of music? After talking about music and stuff, she sends me a picture of herself. I am also 13. Finally somebody my age. You got a pic? This is me. And I said this like a dumbass. I really didn't know how to use my computer, but to this day, I can't believe how creepy I sounded. Wow, you're really pretty. I'll send you a pic, but I have to figure out how to work the camera on my computer. Finally, my dad helped me with a picture. I tried to send it, but I got this message. This is the mail system at host, mailhost.org or whatever. I'm sorry to inform you that your message could not be delivered to one or more recipients. It's attached below. For further assistance, please send an email to Postmaster. If you do so, please include this problem report. You can delete your own text from the attached return message, the mail system. My dad emailed the postmaster and found out that the account I was sending emails to had been deleted. I showed him the emails we sent, and he laughed in my face. He told me that her mom probably saw what she was doing and told her to delete the account because I was a creep. Well, that was my creepy experience. Vegan poetry blogger. Okay, I've had to submit this story quite a few times because for some reason I wasn't able to break spaces between paragraphs and kept getting flagged for wall of text. Hopefully, I'll actually be able to keep this one up, but I digress. This is my first ever post to Reddit. I'm relatively new, but I've been lurking this sub for quite a while now and decided I might as well share some experiences too. For a bit of context, I'm a 17-year-old female with a petite frame, and I stand at about 5'7". As any woman who uses public transit in a large city, I have my share of weird encounters, specifically with homeless people. When I was a bit younger, I'd suffered from too nice syndrome. I've since learned from these incidences that it's much better to be very cold and very confident than to be the opposite of that. Now, my story started around the middle of 2016. I was waiting for the first of the 2 buses I take to go to work. When I am not working, my daily commute to my boyfriend's usually passes straight through Hollywood, so it is not uncommon to share the ride with homeless folk, gang members, and altogether weird people. I am not too unfamiliar with the occasional creep trying to engage in conversation with me, and around this time, I would reply to dumb advances. As I was waiting, a short, small man approached me. He looked to be in his late 50s or around 60 years old. He had shoulder-length gray hair and looked like an old hippie. This was the time of Bernie hype, so this fool was decked out with pins, stickers, and the like. He handed me a pamphlet and asked if I would be voting, to which I replied no, as I was underage. He went on to talk about Bernie visiting Santa Monica High School that same day. I was very uninterested in this information, but as I could not be rude, I kept the conversation going. He began asking much more personal questions: my age, my name, where I go to school, where I work, typical sus guy spiel. All of my answers were fake, except for my age, which was 16 years old at the time. He seemed relatively satisfied with the information I gave him, and started to tell me I should email him and check out his poetry blog, which at the same time interrogating me about my lifestyle. Do I drink? Do I smoke? Eat meat? Do drugs? Etc. I started to feel very uncomfortable and slightly annoyed that this guy was trying to probe into my life. However, I was overcome with relief as my bus, though late, had finally arrived. There are 2 different buses that stop at this specific bus stop, and at that moment, I immediately felt at ease when I realized he did not board with me. I expected that would be the last encounter with the likes of him. Wrong. The next encounter was pretty uneventful yet unnerving. I happened to be on the bus with my boyfriend, who was making sure I got home safe, since a group of men that hung around a parking lot near my house had been giving me bad vibes. We were laughing away at some homeless guy selling umbrellas, preaching about the impending rain. It was the middle of a heat wave, and how the Dodgers were really gonna take it home the next day. You'd be surprised at how many unintentional comedians stay riding metro buses. Suddenly I felt a pang of disgust, followed by the chilling sound of his voice. I was surprised to see him sat in the aisle across from my boyfriend and I. We had not even noticed him board the bus, since we were so caught up in Umbrella Guy's banter. He was repeating over and over again his plea that I email him and check out his vegan poetry, which of course I ignored. I felt much bigger with my boyfriend by my side, and got off the bus without incidents. There were a few non-verbal encounters with him sprinkled here and there, but the last time I saw this guy, I was coming home late from my boyfriend's house. I was on my last bus when I suddenly got a very, very bad feeling. I happened to tell my boyfriend that I had a feeling I was gonna run into this fool before we parted ways, despite how long it had been since the last incident. The bus approached its next stop, and who but Vegan Star himself boarded the bus. I silently condemned myself for creating a situation I did not want to happen by overthinking. I know a fair bit about the law of attractions, and I've used them many, many times throughout my life to create the outcome I wish to see in a situation I am faced with. I've got a hell of a strong will, but stupidly forgot the more you think about something you don't want to happen, the more likely the chances that it will happen. I did my best to look like I had not seen him get on the bus, but immediately he recognized me and took a seat a few rows down from me. Normally I listen to my music on the highest volume, metal assault on the ears, but I was incredibly anxious, so I turned it down just enough so that I could hear what was going on around me. I soon realized he was facing me, trying to get my attention. He kept reciting his infamous line, "Hey, check out my vegan poetry blog at pureveganstar.blogspot.com and email me anytime at whatever his email was so that we can be friends. This is the real URL," he told me, which I will never ever forget. I am someone who gets angry instead of afraid, so at this point I was pretty hot. How did this guy remember me every time he saw me? This happened at the beginning of 2017, so I changed a fair bit. This guy would not give up no matter how hard I ignored him. I tried to look every direction but his direction. However, he persisted. I was absolutely fed up at this point, but did not want to give this guy any types of attention, so I turned my music all the way up, back to the original volume. To my horror, this fool moved even closer, taking the seat directly in front of me. Oh man, I was heated, but I did my best not to instigate. I did not fucking care about his weak-ass vegan poetry. I looked him dead with a scowl. I've been told I've been pretty intimidating, but he couldn't take a hint either. I finally took out an earphone and asked him what the hell he wanted. He responded with a sentence that he had been rehearsing to me for the past 20 minutes. I told him I wasn't interested and was relieved to see my stop approaching. The next thing this guy did made my stomach twist into a knot. He reached up and pressed a button to request a stop, happily stood up and said, "This is your stop, isn't it?" At that moment, I was dumbstruck. Although I knew this guy made a point to speak to me every time he had saw me, I had never expected him to go this far. I mean, he had gotten off at my stop when I was with my boyfriend. Reluctantly, I nodded and got up to get off the bus, trying not to look at this guy or stand too close to him. Inside, I was fuming. I knew I could probably beat this guy up. He was shorter than me and very, very skinny. He looked pretty frail, to be honest. I made a plan to attack in case he tried to put his hands on me, as I wanted to wait for a reason to fight. This guy walked next to me for a bit, talking about the vegan cafe that I passed every night on my way home, and other things I couldn't care less for. He tried digging deeper into my personal life with dumb-ass questions. I responded curtly, trying to get away from the whole conversation. Keep in mind, this guy knows that I am a minor. I just reminded him once again of my age. I was 16 years old. We were now stopped briefly in front of the parking lot of the plaza, where the dumb vegan cafe is located. He proceeds to tell me I am very beautiful, and asks if I like to get lunch with him there sometime. I, of course, respond with a firm no, and tell him I have to be getting home. I start to feel especially uncomfortable as he's trying to get closer to me. He invites me to his house, saying, "It's just up the street. You can come stay with me and we can be friends." I declined with gritted teeth and told him as I'm under 18, I live with my parents and need to be getting home since they might actually be worrying about me, you know? With that, I quickly turn on my heels and make my way down the main road to my block, not turning back once to look at the guy. However, at the very last moment, I did happen to catch the last thing this guy said to me, which was, "Don't forget to look up my vegan poetry at pureveganstar.blogspot.com and email me at, I don't know, so that we can be friends." So that being said, fucking hell, bro. Vegan poetry star. Please let's not meet again. And if we do, I don't want to be your friend.